Hey everyone, I'm back with a new video. How are you all doing? I hope you're all okay. I wanted to talk today about ancestral readings. Okay, small point, it's in the evening here. My cats are very awake. You might hear me yell. Anyway, I have several different kind of ways how I do an ancestral reading. And I thought maybe we would go over them a little bit, you know, to maybe give you some ideas if you're still new at this, or if you're looking to, how to do it, you know. Or even if you do it, you might again, you know, get some new or fresh ideas. Excuse me. The thing is, I say that, you know, even if you already have a system. In all honesty, I think if you have a system, you know, and it works for you, I would not even, mess around with it in that sense. I don't, you know, unless I'm really inspired, but then it really needs to be something special. Because in all honesty, again, when it works, it works. But even me, you know, I have different ways. I put Dust to Onyx here because it's the only deck in here that is only used for ancestral readings. With this deck, I don't do any other readings. So I thought, again, to show you maybe how I would go about it. With the Dust to Onyx, because these are always very serious readings, I also got some lighter readings in that sense, you know. So I do have some shade here. I hope that's okay. With the Dust to Onyx, I also work with the Weavers and the Black Madonna. So how I would go about it with my more serious reading. I did ask my ancestors. They were okay with doing this because, well, you cannot really do any fake kind of reading, right? Oh, for these two, 1 second, sorry. I should have gotten them. Sorry, yeah, because for those two, I do use my books, you know. I'm not gonna go too deep because especially with the Weavers, I mean, that's a whole story, you know. I will see how much I can and, well, want to share in that sense. So what I normally do with my more, well, in-depth reading in that sense, and I might do these once a month, you know. At the beginning of the month, I normally start with a Weaver card. And this is actually a process over 2 or 3 days. Most of the times 2. But for the Weavers, I always take a whole day at least to really let that sink in. So, yeah, again, you know, it's a process in that sense. I will shuffle my deck, of course, and I will pick my one Weaver. Okay. I think I had her before. And in all honesty, when it comes to ancestral readings, I pay attention to, well, just about everything. Even the 31, yeah? Braid. Dogon of the Bear Claw. Well, let me check, because this is what I do, you know. The other ones might go a little bit faster, but with this one, again, you know. So I check, you know, she strengthens the power of warriors. Oh, okay. And I'm checking Bone Clan and the South Weavers. Well, normally I do look it up then, you know. So the Bone Clan, and then here in before, let me see. Yeah. So this clan is comprised of the 4 Neolithic flesh and blood ancestors and 4 primal spirit sisters who emerge from those ancestral women's dreams and the landscapes where they dwelled and roamed. They represent the unfolding journey of womanhood that exists for all women across time in the blood river experiences of maid, mother, midwoman, and crone. See, I picked that part, and then we had it, then we talked about South Weavers. I always check that too. Here. The South Weavers share a connection through illumination, high sunlight, full moonlight, wide open days, warmth and abundance in nature, fertility, love, wild and domestic hearts, wedding dances, fierce lands, honey magic, rich harvest, balance and polarity, mothering in all its forms, the power of women, dreaming, healing, blessing songs, sacred waters, the energy of midsummer, and the harvest festival. Okay, so that's very interesting already, yeah? I already now have an idea, just some keywords that popped up that tell me it's the line of my grandmother, you know? I think certain things will tune you in as to, well, which line, or yeah, which way of the ancestral line, because you got 2, of course, your mother and your father, you're communicating with, you know. Well, I'm not going to read her whole story, but I will do that later. But normally I would go over this story, but it's written in a very, well, storytelling way, and it might take me more than a moment to really summarize, to really look at what pops up, you know, and sometimes it can be 2 or 3 words out of that whole story that really catch my attention as to, oh my God, I understand what they're saying, you know. The first page, her yarn, it's called, is her story. These are the things that that we see back in the sense of attributes, right? So twisted braid, bear claws, warrior drum, and then in her cloth, even though it's story-like, we find a little message, yeah, most of the times, but honest, I can find them anywhere else too. Let me go over it. Alright, see, this already pops up. As warriors, we will eventually be called to account. All the knowledge, experience, and bravery we may have occurred along our path will have a role to play, or else, what has this challenging journey been for? You know? So, again, we will not go over everything. Normally, like I said, with this one, I do sit, yeah? I sit for a while, and I will do that after I finish this video, you know, because what I normally then do on day 2, yeah, unless the story really pops directly, you know, but normally I will let it sink for a little bit. Then I will take also after this, whether that's directly or the day after, yeah, I will take one of the cards of the Black Madonna. And it's a little bit hard now to connect them, because normally I can find a connection after I really get to know this card, you know. But hey, let's do it. Ooh, I'm putting my cards in danger with the candle next to it. That's not a good idea. Yeah, with like I said, with the weavers, it's always very important to me to really take my time, because the book is really where the messages are, you know. Even though, don't get me wrong, I love the cards, but yeah, this is where I'm taking my time to really understand, and that's why I say this is a more in-depth ancestral reading, you know. Okay, well, it's kind of funny because I already said it's my African line, right? And look what I find here. So this is what I mean with the combination of these two. They never ever let me down. It's funny and at the same time surprising and not surprising. It's number 7, so let me see here. One more, yes. So here, normally I would read everything. Let's go to, well, the message part at this moment. This thing what carries your attention, vision, and focus into manifestation. So she tells you that the way is clear with your inner power directed into focused action. Yeah, okay, I should be reading this. Is one of the 7 sisters, which is funny because that is definitely diaspora. Okay, well, again, let's not take time then to read it now because, well, we're doing this on camera, you know. Well, after this one, if it directly makes sense, I'm not waiting. I'm directly going for the tarot. Depending on what we're talking about, this is where the question will be. This is why it would be important for me to understand, right? But this was that warrior power thing, right? And even though I didn't read it, but the 7 sisters, that really is also about that female power, right? And I'm really dancing it up right now. But let's see, you know, maybe my question could be, in all honesty, I think I will do this part again after I read these 2. But for now, you know, okay, that warrior spirit, where am I in need of that fierce woman warrior spirit, you know? Ancestors, what are you trying to tell me? So we have Temperance, 3 of Gourds, which is Cups. Ooh, and the Wheel of Fortune. Well, I already know it's going to be an important message because we have here 2 major arcanas, right? I mean, these are big life events in that sense. So what is popping up? Well, the 3 of Gourds, those 3 females, right? That growing in your emotions. But there is a balance that we need, you know, because the growing of emotions will be something that is an ebb and flow. Yeah, it will go up, it will go down. Which means emotion-wise for me, you know, well, I can have very good days where I really feel like there's emotional growth, and I feel like that empowerment, that warrior energy inside of me, you know. But then there will be days that I might question it, right? Because again, we have the Temperance, yeah. So I need to keep that in balance because I know of myself, if I know my own personality, you know. I'm a little bit, I'm a black and white woman, yeah, in the sense of I'm a little bit all or nothing, yeah, which is not always a good quality. It can be, you know, but it's not always. For me, what I can recognize in myself, that if I have these good days, you know, and I really feel like everything is, well, on top of the world for me, even then I can be out of balance because it's all good, right? On days where I'm not getting that feeling that everything is great and all right, I might be too down, yeah. So this one is the most important one for me. It's on the first place, but I don't read in that sense. I read what pops up, yeah. But in this case, you know, this one is definitely the most important. Whatever this brings, you know, I cannot forget that balance I'm in need of. Because, well, that is the thing that will make this work or not work, you know. So, and then, as an ancestor reading, I did all of this, you know, and I will let it be my first impressions. I will do whatever I want to do, and I will come back to it, you know, and I will look at it again. Even with this one, I will read the book again and the story. And with this one, I will read the book again and the story. Because sometimes the second time around, or the third time around even, something else pops up, you know. So these two are really my focus, right? There is what I'm reading, what this is telling me. What you also could do, for me, when we talk about warrior energy, the lion is one of my spirit animals. In the lion, there's definitely warrior, you know. So if I really want to continue, because what I would do, if this goes away later, you know, this is still my focus, these stay out, I will work with that lion energy, you know, to really dive deeper. This is a process. Yeah, this is what I mean with an in-depth reading. These two stay out because this is just the first message of this. I will come back later when I have maybe even a better or a deeper understanding of what these two will tell me, and I will ask a question again, you know, and I will pull my cards. I pull 3 now. You can pull 1. You can pull more than 3. Whatever you feel will work for you, you know. When you're looking for in-depth, your focus cards in that sense, I do recommend a really in-depth oracle, yeah. Something that has good light and shadow, something that gives you more maybe than just one keyword, you know, something that you can pull in the time span of a month, or shorter or longer. For me, mostly it's a month, you know, and that you can keep working with, you know. I have one that I did an art project of. I'm not having the book here. I might try to put a picture or video while I'm talking right now in the I will edit it in. Sorry. So again, you know, these are the ones I'm really working with in this month, and I might pull other ones in it, you know. And this is my first reading with these cards. So that would be a more in-depth, like I said, because these 3 might be put away. And then at the same time, these 2 always go in my hand thingy. I will actually do that now. Sorry. Here, I have here my hand thingy. And I place them in there. And then they have a place here on my desk. Where they stay. I will put a picture up. And I will put it in the video. So, like I said with the Dust to Onyx, I don't use this deck for anything else. It's just ancestor work. I do have other decks that I work with. This one, it's not like it's only, but I don't really use it for anything else. But that's not like a conscious choice, while the Dust to Onyx is, yeah. But this one, I do with one specific ancestor, and that is my grandmother. And that's most of the time in conversation form, yeah. And conversation form for me, well, let's do a little one. I hope she's here with me. I did ask, but yeah, they do whatever they want to do, but they were okay with me sharing. So how would I start? Normally, I would start by telling her hi. Normally, I do this in my head, so it's a little bit weird saying things out loud. Good evening, Grandma. How are you doing? I would like some advice. This week, certain things are in the planning. They kind of make me a little bit nervous. I would love to get some advice. Okay, and I will start with one card. Okay, she tells me the Six of Swords. Yeah, I need to find a balance in my thoughts, you know, because my thoughts can really overwhelm me, and maybe in the way I communicate. Okay, so the balance in my mind. How can I best reach this point? Because, well, my mind is a mess at times. When I get nervous, it's harder for me to focus. So how can I best reach this, well, balanced mindset? Okay, and I'm getting the Chariot. So that's really about just keep moving. Don't stand still too long, you know. I know myself in that sense, so maybe not thinking in that moment too much. It's about continuing, yeah. Whether that's my day or any projects I'm working on, just keep moving, you know. This will maybe help me to balance, you know, my mindset by just keep moving forward and don't stand still too long, yeah. Okay, but if I keep moving forward, can I really get a balanced mindset? Will I not be taking out of the moment? Like, I might not even think about getting a balanced mindset, or is that the point, you know? Could you expand a little bit more about this moving, that moving forward, that keep moving forward? Yeah. Wow, okay. The Queen of Cups is my significator. And the message, the moment I saw it, was just be yourself. I actually heard her yell in my ear. Okay, and I know this is something you feel, you know. For me, the conversation now is done. Of course, I will thank her for being with me, but I'm not shuffling anymore. The point is, I ask one question, I get a card, I keep the next question about what is going on. And again, you know, this is a conversation I'm having, and I'm having it with her, and she's guiding me into the next step, you know. So I'm a little bit nervous because I know myself, you know. I got some appointments standing, and okay, I need to keep my mind in harmony, you know, in a balance, yeah. That, yeah, it is not gonna get away from me. I need to move forward, but I need to, well, get that under control, right? And at the same time, as this really meant, you know, just be yourself. I really heard that loud and clear. At the same time, it's also that nurturing that mind, or that emotional roller coaster I'm having, you know, at times and at points in time. So this can go on as long or as short as you want to. Thank you, Grandma. But at the same time, now it was 3, and it's kind of funny because I think it's video. It's going a little bit faster than normal. But yeah, that's the point. Yeah, you will know when it's the last question. The moment I saw this and I heard her say, just be yourself, I knew that was also the end of the conversation. But again, if you don't feel that, you just continue, you know. You can ask more questions. and really have a conversation with, well, for me, it's now one of my ancestors, my grandma. But with whoever you work, you know, keep that flowing. You can go through half the deck if you want to. But it's about that continuation, right? You ask, they answer, you ask, they answer, you ask, they answer, and so forth. Yeah. So yeah, that's one way. Let me put these away. Another way, we're really gonna go down the total opposite, yeah. For me, when I also might do an ancestor reading, is if I'm doing a working, yeah. This is gonna be a little bit difficult to really show you, because I cannot really do that on a live thing, you know. This is in the moment. Whatever working I want to do, yeah. I was thinking about maybe doing then well, fake reading. I don't like that too much, but again, I ask, I have their permission. What if we look at it from well, Rootwork, Hoodoo, example of blockbuster or a road opener, right? You're stuck somewhere and you want to open that road for yourself, yeah. Well, in Hoodoo, we always work, yeah, with divination, yeah. You cannot just do a working, in all honesty. If you do a money working, you can do it. But when you do bigger workings, it's about the advice, yeah. And that comes, of course, from the ancestors. So I would probably start with my oracle. This is the one I made myself, the Adinkra oracle. So I want to do this road opener, right? I'm stuck. I need to block bust something, you know. Obstacles need to get out of my way. I need to open it. So what can I do best? Yeah, because well, what is holding me back? You know, what do I need to do for this working to succeed? Sometimes we get a note that it's not the time, you know, but let's go for it for now. So what would I need to do for this working to succeed? Okay, so here it says Iban, which means fence, love, safety, security. So the meaning here, the home of the Archon is a special place. A home which has a fence around it is considered to be an ideal residence. The fence symbolically separates and secures, the family from the outside. Because of the security and the protection that a fence affords, the symbol is also associated with the security and safety one finds in love. Okay, so I'm talking about a blockbuster in this sense, right? That road opener, yeah? So I was asking what I'm needing. Well, I need love, safety, security. We talk here about the security and the protection, right? So what this card might tell me, that before I do that, I need to do some protection work, yeah? I might call in my ancestors, you know, and form a protective circle around me. I might do actual a protection working in itself. I might hot food, or I might use some red brick dust, you know, around me when I do the working. Whatever works for you. I might just work with an iron pin. I can use protection spray, whatever, but I need to do some work, yeah, regarding protection, because we're talking here about a fence. This is why I say around me, you know. Whatever I'm gonna do, there needs to be a fence around me, yeah, a fence of protection, because I need the love, safety, and security, you know. Okay, so I know that now already, yeah. Okay, I do that protection work, you know. How will I go about it when, you know, I want to do my road opener? Is it the time? Yeah. Right now? Do I still need to wait? Are there other workings I would need to do first, you know, to really open this road for me to, well, where I want to go? Okay, so this is, well, the Magician in a normal deck, but here we're talking about the man at the crossroads. In Hoodoo, when we talk about the man at the crossroad, we're talking about Papa Legba, you know. He is also the spirit of the veil, you know, the crossroads, the graveyard and stuff like that. So when I'm thinking about protection, I might actually want to put some graveyard dirt, you know, in my protection working, you know. This is how a reading works when I'm talking about divining for conjure workings, you know, magic workings. And honestly, this is why I love this deck. I did a walkthrough of it. It's the Antique Black Tarot, a Rootworker's deck, because it's very, it comes directly into my practice in that sense, right? So, well, this is my first thought, but let's pull another card, you know, to really go deeper into that. Okay, we have here the Grandmother of Light. Light here is once, right? I think it's once, yeah. And Grandmother Queen, you know. So the Queen of it's once, right? Or am I not crazy? Roots was Earth. Water. Okay, wait, I have them here. Let me check. Yes, sorry, it's once. I started doubting. So it's really that passion, right? That fire. So I feel like we're still talking about that protection, working with the graveyard dirt, perhaps, or maybe I can just use the sigil, the weave, you know, of Papa Legba. But at the same time, I really need to, well, put that nurturing passion in that working, you know. And I put this with the love part. I feel like I need to do this at a time that I'm good with myself, that I'm not, you know, when we're a little bit too hard on ourselves, we might have negative thoughts, we're not too kind to ourselves. So this work needs to be done, yeah, when I'm really in that space of being passionate, but at the same time really being in touch with my own passions, you know. And really nurture that part about myself. Okay, let's take one more. Okay, and here we have the Railroad, which is normally the Hermit, which is funny because that's my year card. I'm paying attention to that, you know. But hey, we talked about protection and I set some iron spikes, right? Well, the Railroad spikes I could definitely use for that protection work, you know. I can put that in my corners and really build that circle around me, yeah. The rum I can definitely use as an offering to Papa Legba, you know. This will really secure that protection. So this is, now I just took 3. I feel like I'm good. I could go on, but I think you will get an idea, right? So this is a different ancestor working, because now I'm communicating with them what I'm needing, you know, to make this, well, this thing that we thought about, you know, the road opener, blockbuster kind of thing, you know, really work for me, right? I asked what I was needing, and it talked about that fence, that protection, right? Because I need that safety and security. Okay, how am I getting there then, right? Okay, we have Papa Legba, the man at crossroads. The crossroads is always a choice, and it's funny because even here we can almost see a crossroads, right? And again, I can work with the graveyard dirt, yeah, to really get that protection, well, hived up. But again, here I really feel a timing. I need to do that at a certain moment of yeah, you know, that mastering of that passion that you have, you know, that really being in that good passionate state. And here again, that circle of spikes, I really feel, and the black dog, it's also a lot of Papa Legba. So I'm really getting Legba here. Papa Legba will definitely be one I need to pull in my protection work and even in my road opener, you know. Cannot forget the offerings. But this, like I said, you know, this is an ancestor reading where I'm really, you know, communicating with them, well, workings, you know, conjure workings. I need to do this. What am I in need of? Because the thing is, we know what we need. We make a list. We need a colored candle. We need this herb. We need that herb. But there's always more to the story at what you need, you know. Yeah, there are materials that you need. But at the same time, I need to know, you know, is it okay for me to do it? Yeah. And if I do it, what am I in need of? I know now a timing. Yeah. Even though I might want to do it now, but if I'm not in this state, that means now is not the timing. Yeah. And I need, and directly I'm getting the deity or spirit that I want to work with. Ideas for the protection that I really need to build around me in that fence kind of way, right? So yeah, this is a very different ancestor reading, right? I mean, we're really going into, well, again, workings right now. So yeah, this is definitely one that is something that is always in my practice. Yeah, I cannot say, oh, I used it once a month, because it depends how many workings I want to do, right? If there might be a time I only do one working, there might be a time I will do more workings. That is very optional in that sense. I've been working with my own, with my ancestors, which really works well. And this is a little bit the same as what I did with my grandma. This is very conversational, but I do, because I got this one recently, I printed it. And I actually came at the idea of this video because I did one a day or what ago with this new deck and my other deck. So these were two decks that I made myself, you know. And I was really testing the waters here, right? Like, is this gonna work? So, oh, sorry. So what I did, I pulled one oracle with the question. This was a focused reading. I didn't do one at the beginning of the month. I was a little bit all over the place. So let's do what I did before. I asked, you know, what is it that I need to focus on this month? Yeah. Okay, I need to focus on my vibrations. That's a nice one. Directly, of course, the Bob Marley song is in my head. Positive vibration, yeah. I cannot help it. So, vibrations. I need to focus this month on my vibrations. And then we're going to go a little bit the same, like I did with my grandma. I'm going to ask questions, right, about this. What about my vibrations I really need to, well, look out for or watch out for? That would be my first question. Oh, I have them upside down. So here we're talking about the Emperor, you know, which is really like a Taurusy, but I kind of feel like more that I'm too locked in, you know. I need to let them flow more, maybe, because I'm too locked in. This is what I feel with the Emperor, you know. Okay, let's see. Where is it that I'm really locked in? The daughter of cowrie shells, yeah. I might need to learn, yeah, to ground myself better, to really, it's like I need to be open to certain natural messages, you know, and again, not be locked in too much. Okay, I need one more at least. How come that I am so locked in? Why am I not more, well, free-flowing at the moment? Why do I have all these boundaries? Ah, okay. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I'm trying to really keep that harmony in my emotions, you know. I'm almost afraid to move forward because then it might get out of harmony, right? But because I'm a little bit stuck in there, then yeah, it doesn't become a good thing, but it's gonna work against me, right? Okay, how can I break free from, well, these boundaries and really let go and get, well, deeper in touch with certain vibrations? Woo, okay. Okay. So I really just feel like I need to let go, right? That completion is gonna come whether I want it or not, right? So I better just be free, yeah? That circle, the four corners, right? That are things that are. For me to get there, I just need to get there, right? It's not about making a plan. I feel more it's about just letting that happen. When I might meditate a little bit and really feel those vibrations happening, I actually might make that natural movement, you know, towards that better understanding of my own vibrations. I might do a reading about this one because this is kind of an interesting one. But yes, again, this is the conversation, right? I take one focus and then I'm pulling multiple ones to really, well, get that conversation going, yeah? I kind of feel like the mojo is a little bit low right now because I'm not really getting this. Like, they might have enough of me right now. Okay, one more, and that is this one. Because this is a little bit, okay, I find this hard to explain. It's ancestor, it's kind of an ancestral reading, but how do I say that? See, this is what I find hard to talk about. It's in my head, but it's hard for me to bring in words. It's almost not an ancestor reading, but it is. It's like advice. But for me, this deck is also about my soul path reading, yeah. But it's like ancestral advice of my soul path reading. Okay, this doesn't make sense, right? But this is hard to really, well, demonstrate in that sense because this is really work I do on my personal path, right? Where am I and where am I going? So I would take two cards. Where am I? And I didn't really put much in it. And where am I going? Yeah. I don't have an oracle yet for this one that I work together with. I have one in mind that I want. But yeah, budget, and there's so much I want, seriously. So hopefully soon, but for now this works, you know. So I'm working with these two. Okay, this card is annoying. Okay, are my ancestors messing with me? Stop it. Stop. Did you see that it was walking on its own, and this is not that smooth, you know? So that was weird. So yeah, I take two, you know. Where am I and where am I going? Sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes if I really want to know more, you know. So where am I at the Eight of Cups? Okay, I'm at a place where I might need to, well, let go of certain things, you know, to really move forward, right? I'm mastering these emotions that are all over, but I might need to let some of them just go and not worry about them too much, and just let them be, right? But maybe I want some more information. Yeah. Okay, I have here the Hierophant and the Knight of Wands. Yeah. So yeah, the Hierophant, that older teachings, right? I might need to let go of some older teachings, yeah, to really move forward, you know, in my spirit, because again, we're talking about my soul path here, right? I really need to let go of yeah, certain teachings, and really get going, you know, and really be in my spirit and keep moving in my spirit, because even the 8 is about moving forward, you know, where the Hierophant is sitting, right, in the den and there. But yeah, okay, this would be one thing. And then where am I going? I'm going towards, yeah, the Hanged Man, which of course is a bigger one. We're talking here about a major event, major arcana. Yeah, it's kind of funny. There's something big, right, that I really need to let go of, that I need to move forward from. Okay, but we're at the Hangman. This is where we're going. The suspension, the sacrifice, the change of perspective, right? Okay, this is where I'm going. I need a little bit more. Okay, wow, transformations. Okay. And the 5 of Coins. Yes. So those transformations are really needed, yeah, because otherwise I'm gonna be, yeah, in a place where I don't want to be, right? The Death card is also my Scorpio card, so definitely that hits home. Yeah, we don't want to be in this locked place, in that sense, right? In this small place where we cannot grow, right? So I really need to change my perspective maybe on certain things that I need to walk away from, remember? And a transformation might be in place, right? Because again, certain older patterns or lessons or teachings, I really need to get away from, move away from. And it needs to happen now. That's an action that needs to happen, because this is where I'm going. Then the question is, am I going here once I do this, or if I don't do this, right? Because we have transformation and a change and a perspective, right? I feel like this happens when I get away from this, yeah? Because there is, I'm going from a place of stability to a more difficult place, yeah? The 5 is about this disruption, right? It's not comfortable, but transformation never is comfortable, yeah? It always has certain growing pains in that sense, yeah? So I don't see this as a negative per se. It's just a consequence of, well, when we change the way we look at things, we are transforming our mindset, our eyes, in that sense, right? So that might be very uncomfortable. That doesn't mean I cannot move forward, right? Yeah, okay. Anyway, like I said, it's a little bit different, this one, because even though I do ask my ancestors for insight and guidance, it's not per se an ancestor reading. And yeah, at the same time, yeah, it's also not an ancestor reading. But because I'm talking about my path, you know, what my soul is really doing here on this earth. And again, I was very on the surface right now. This is a reading I'm really taking my time for again, you know. Now I did the 2, and now I did directly that. Normally I would do the 2. I would really think about how that would look on my path, and then I might do the other one to the side and really look into the one and later into the other one. But again, you know, I did want to mention this one because even though it doesn't belong, it still belongs. So yes, it's a weird one. So these are some of them, because I do have more, but yeah, I also didn't want to sit here for 4 hours. But these were the most used ones I think I have. The one with this one is even like I said before, I would do it just conversation with this one, or even with another one, but because I just had this deck and I wanted to work with it, I really put that there as a focus and then started a conversation. So that's even new for me, you know. I changed that one a little bit up. But yeah, this is how you can do certain ancestor readings, you know. There are of course many ways you can communicate with your ancestors. I mean, when I throw the bones, this is one that I didn't show here today, but when I throw the bones, that's definitely communication with my ancestors. Yeah. When I read playing cards, it's communication with my ancestors. So like I said, there are definitely many more that I do, yeah, but I just wanted to talk about a few here, right? A few that definitely will come up in my practice in that sense. So yes, if you have any questions, yeah, please feel free to put them in the comments. I will definitely answer them. If you have ancestor readings that you do and they are very different from mine, and maybe you do have a channel, then please show me. I would love to see. Like I said, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit set in my ways in that sense, you know, that I might not change, but you know, inspiration can never hurt, right? I mean, the deck itself gave me the inspiration. I mean, I got 2 ancestor cards in here, the matriarchal line and the patriarchal line. Yeah, here. So it even would go more in depth again in that sense, right? But yeah, like I said, if you ever did a video or you're gonna do a video about it, then please tag me. Again, I would love to see, you know. Again, I'm definitely set in my ways in that sense. I might be a little hard-headed. But again, you know, inspiration for me is always a good thing. Sometimes we need to spice it up a little bit, right? But yeah, I'm hoping that for maybe some newbies in that sense that really are starting their journey or just starting to tap into their ancestors, that maybe this was helpful, you know. Again, if you have questions, please feel free to drop them below, and I will definitely answer them. For now, I want to thank you for watching. Oh, I hate saying this, but apparently with the algorithm on YouTube, yeah, please subscribe to the channel. That will definitely help me and the channel, of course, and like the video. But yeah, that would be meaning a lot, and I thank you in advance. More videos of course will come out. When the next one will be, I have no idea. It will be a surprise for you and for me. But again, thank you for watching. I hope to see you all soon, and I hope you have a very blessed day. Okay, bye-bye.